I'm an introvert. I'm introverted and quiet person and shy. Not a little shy, just a little shy, like laid back. I'm like quiet person type. And these people don't get that, like, and they think like, well, they can do anything because you're a quiet person and you don't talk much. But they don't understand, like, the ones that are quiet, like me, we know a lot and we observe things and we're like the smartest people. Like, we don't have to say anything, but we know everything. Like, the scenery, we know everything. Like, we're like intelligent, smart, and we don't need you to treat us like we're stupid. Like, come on, stop. But I don't understand why they're so obsessed with me, like where I'm going. I don't know. It's weird. Like, I'm going through like what the celebrities go through. Like, they're always like taking pictures, watching them, like spying to find out information so they can like post it and put gossip, lies and gossips. That's what celebrities have to go through, and that's just crazy. I could never be famous ever. I don't like that. But it's like these people, like, they always gotta know everything because I'm not the type of person that's in their eyes normal. And I'm suspicious because the way I act, the way I have my own personality. So some people just like to stereotype you in the old way, like, and think that you're up to no good. But that's not true. And then she was like the girl that came to look at the apartment. She was like, "Are you going down south?" Yeah. But in my mind, I'm like, how does she know that? I don't remember telling them that I'm going down south. Was it the neighbor that keeps watching me told you that? Like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, why do you do that for? Why are you watching me anyway? Like, so weird. But I don't know how they know. I think it's because the housing people like said I'm going down south, which I don't know why they told them that. It's none of their business to tell them that. Like, it's crazy. Like, they're supposed to be like doing their jobs. They're not supposed to be telling people my business. That's unprofessional. Just because I know people, like certain people, like, it doesn't mean nothing about me. Like, you see what I'm at. I'm poor. I'm on housing. Do you think I'm famous? I have a lot of money? No, I don't. Not till I get a job, like, and make myself come up and have a job. Like, I want to get a job, like, but everything, like, destroyed me. Like, being with that guy that I used to be with, my ex guy, was never married to him or ever. I was just got in a relationship with him back then because I wasn't doing what God's way, and I wanted to follow my own way. And this is what happened to me. Disaster. But now I'm living for Christ. I'm a Christian, and I am following his ways. but sometimes I have a hard time. Like, I'm not gonna say it's easy. It's not easy. It's difficult. But I'm basically like, I'm just a good girl. Nah, I don't mean as good as I don't sin. I mean like a good girl as I don't be getting in trouble like that with the police or law or anything like that. I'm not into drugs. I'm not into none of that stuff. Like, I'm just like quiet, laid back. I'm not trying to start anything with anybody. But it's crazy how you can like be a quiet person and you get all this trouble still from people you live by, because they do like crazy stuff, like weird stuff to you, like weird stuff, and seem angry with you because you're living out your Christian faith. And it's like that with that the peaches right here. It says people hate a righteous life because it exposes their own unrighteousness. That's why I really like this book. It tells you like truth of how it's going down. And that's what's wrong with the world. Like, it's so easy to get offended. Everybody gets offended so easily nowadays. And then they wonder how you get this, how you got that. You shouldn't worry about that. Like, you don't know, like, there's a God in the universe, Jesus Christ. He blesses me with everything that I have. So this is how I can have that stuff, because he blesses me. And you can't stop his blessing me because you're mad about what I have and that I'm doing good, because you can never stop his blessings coming to me. You can read that like in Numbers. Wait. Balaam was trying to curse Israelites at the moment of wrath, and thus God himself destroyed them. But God purposely restrained his anger in order to baffle the wicked prophet and to save the nation from termination. Balaam tried to curse God's people in Israel and found that he could not in Numbers chapter 22-24. And we know, like, Christians cannot be cursed. Cursing those whom God has blessed is a dangerous business. Wisdom warns that whoever digs a pit will fall into it. If someone rolls a stone, it will roll back on them. I like that part. Whoever digs a pit will fall in it, and a stone will come back on them and start burrowing. It's a really good Bible scripture. God has won the victory in Christ. We are overcomers. Everyone born of God overcomes the world, and this is the victory that has overcome the world, even our faith. 1 John chapter 5:4. The shield of God gives us and extinguish all flaming arrows of the evil one, Satan. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 16. We are free to worship God without fear. John chapter 8 verse 36. The Lord is my light and salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? Psalms 27 verse 1. So why should I be fearful for putting my stickers on the door when I don't have people's sins on my door? I have the gospel part of the message talking about Jesus is the only way to salvation. And that's what you really have to put in the gospel when you share the gospel with the people. You got to share, like, he's the only one through salvation that you can be saved. And of course, that's going to offend them because there's no other way you can go. And once you start following him, you got to stop living a lie as they live in their sins. I would like to go to my commentary to read this. Because Proverbs 26, verse 27. Shaking hands in a pledge here means to guarantee someone else's debt. It is foolish to do it if you can afford to make full payment of the debt. Why run the risk of having the furniture taken out of your house and thus expose yourself to discomfort and shame? Proverbs 26:27. Wait, am I the right one? No. Sorry, I read the wrong thing to that meaning. Man's evil recoils upon himself, just as Lewis, the strong workmanship, would hold the most desperate prisoner during one of the early French wars. He tempered some very fine steel and made change and were unparalleled for strength. Later, Lewis himself was found guilty of treason and sent to prison. He was heard to moan, "These are my own change. If I had known I was forging them for myself, how differently I would have made them." What pains men take to mischief to others, but it is digging a pit, it is road of store and hard work, and they prepare. What pains men take to do mischief to others, but it is digging a pit, it is rolling a stone, hard work, and they prepare mischief to themselves. People who set traps for others get caught themselves. People who start landslides get crushed. But I don't know like what else, like I think the housing authority is like confrontational too, because they never call me back or email me. They're not concerned of what I'm talking about. It's like really crazy. It's like a woman that she's going through stuff, and she's like going through all this crazy stuff and trying to say like, this person's after me, this person's doing this to me, and the other person doesn't believe it. It's like some of the when the woman put a PFA on a guy, they try to say, well, that's not enough, and then all of a sudden it turns to a disaster because they haven't took that person seriously. What they're talking about, like, these people, like, they don't care what you're talking about. They're just ignore you, not email you, act like you never email them. Like, this is crazy to deal with these people. This is why I don't like being on this stuff. Like, I just want to get off of it. And I'll depend on myself and get a job and work for my money. But I have to wait till I go to the new city. And then they're probably trying to say, well, she's homophobic because she won't like living by a homosexual. No, I'm not. I just see the weirdness. Like, I think it's weird. Like, that same guy came and moved her across from me. Like, there's something, I see something in it. Like, not because I don't like living by homosexuals. It's because the way it happened. And I really don't want to live by the same people that I had problems with before. And then they said somebody else complained about the smoke. It was just not just me. And I think it was the new people that moved in that complained about it, because it was like, it smelled so bad in the hallway. Like, it was so marijuana smell, like, strongly. Couldn't even breathe. I heard them when they said it. Like, they was moving stuff in. So it's not just me complaining about it. She even said that on the phone. She said it exactly like that. You're not the only one complaining about it. And they probably didn't like that because they probably think I'm starting trouble because other people's complaining about it. No, I didn't tell nobody else to complain about it. I didn't even know anybody else was complaining about it. I don't know. But don't go blaming me for stuff like just kicking me out of the apartment just to be negative, like, and you felt like it was time for me to move. Like, you didn't let me decide that. Like, I didn't need nobody telling me when to move, you know? Like, she was here. I was like, well, you've been here a long time. Like, yeah, I have. And I wasn't really ready to move. I really could have, like, stayed here and saved money up for next year for me to move. But now I have to move sooner. Like, y'all just messed up me, terminated me sooner. And they probably didn't like that because they knew that I was saving money up, which it was none of their business. So I can save my money. The Bible talks about how you should put money up for emergencies and have it for, like, if you have a like emergency. That's why you gotta be cautious how you spend your money. And that's how I am. Like, you can't tell me what to do with my money. Like, you're just paying my rent. But I'm not going to spend all my money and be stupid like that. Because this is the problem, the situation of why you should save your money. Because you never know you're going to get kicked out because of this crazy landlords. They terminate you because they felt it was their time for me to leave because they thought I couldn't make my own decision. That's basically because she was like, well, it's time for you to leave. You've been here so long. Like, there's a lot of people. There's some people that I knew that been here a long time as me, and they're still living here. You didn't kick them out. You didn't terminate them. The guy with the white Jeep, he been here for so long. He said he been here for a long time. He used to talk to my ex. And he's still here. And y'all didn't terminate him. But you're terminating me because I'm a Christian. And you don't like who I stand for. But they can't really say that. As my friend was saying. It's just crazy, like, and it's okay. I'll just leave. Like, it's not like God's gonna stop his blessing me because I'm moving, you know, because you can't stop what God has for me in in his timing. He can send me to a beautiful apartment where I'm going. It could be so beautiful like this and no hardly anything. You don't have to pay any bills. Just electric, like, and have a beautiful scenery at the same time, like. So what are you stopping? You're not stopping God's plan. He's in control of all this situation, and this is probably his timing for me to move because he sees stuff that I can't see. But I gotta go, guys. Bye. I'm gonna read the Bible next. Matthew chapter 7.